Welcome live here on the ROR Motorsports Network for Loud Pedal Monster Trucks Round 1 of 6 for the Summer Series. I'm Thomas Frasco, joined right here with Patrick, old school fan. Steven will be heading here later on tonight. Patrick, we have a small but a sweet field here for Freedom Hall. What's your thoughts?
Definitely a nice, sweet, small lineup, as you say, field, as you say. I absolutely love some of these small arenas. It gives us a little bit something different than always doing stadiums where we can test our skills in a smaller on a smaller track.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very exciting series. Got a lot of great drivers, a lot of things to look out for. And here in this pre-show, we're going to go over some of the drivers, go over some of the things that they're going to be going through, and then we will have a fantastic night here at Louisville, Kentucky. So let's start things off first with Jester. So obviously, you have a monster truck tour of your own, and this takes place on Wednesdays. The ROR Monster Truck Federation, a series where breakable trucks go through massive competitions. And Jester is currently, if I'm not mistaken, he's the current leader of that tour going into your championship finale next week. What is your thoughts on Jester?
Chester, he's been consistent all season long for Monster Truck Federation. Obviously, you're in second place. I mean, like you said the other night, this is just a two truck affair. I mean, I'm still in third place pretty strong, but I mean, hey, you know what? I've had a lots of up and downs for season one, but I'm hoping for season two with my new ride. I'm hoping things will get much better because I'm going to reveal it at Federation Bowl 1.
And yeah, so also with Jester, we've seen him slowly get back into the swing of things in the latter parts of season two. He had a great showing. Super excited to see how he does here when we get into the event later on within about 27 minutes. Going now into our next competitor, Felipe, as he's usually been like on a fantastic streak when it comes to racing passes, and also his exhibition freestyles are also very entertaining. What's your thoughts on Felipe and how his career so far has been grown over the last few years?
Felipe is a very awesome, talented driver, the owner of Devilish Motorsports. He is really good. He's not the best at racing, but freestyle is where he obviously shines. More like me, but of course, how him and I attack the track is very very different.
Very different indeed. Now going into our next competitor, which is Garrett Hansen, and he had a short stint in the Jester Monster Truck back in the latter parts of season two. Had a strong showing, and now he is here in Overkill Evolution. What's your thoughts on Garrett from the first few times you've seen him in competition?
Garrett is a pretty talented driver as well. He's been competing for a number of years, just like many of these other guys, including myself and you. He can definitely put on a show if he knows what he's doing. He's just a fantastic guy all around. I've talked with him several times. He's a pretty good guy.
Indeed, he is. He had some great performances, great racing passes. He's definitely going to be a strong competitor going into this spring/summer season for Loud Pedal. And finally, going towards Stephen Butterlord, which he switches gears to a different truck this year. From when he drove Ghost Division, what were some things you noticed throughout season one and season two when he was driving that truck before he made his different switch to a different truck?
I'll tell you what, he was really aggressive behind Ghost Division. I'm not going to lie. Ghost Division suits him very well. I mean, I do find it kind of odd and weird that he's switching to Northern Nightmare, but hey, if he wants to drive Northern Nightmare, that's perfectly his choice. But I'll tell you what, man, he has put some of the most awesome most amazing, spectacular moments throughout Loud Pedal Monster Trucks, and of course the one show in Anaheim for Monster Truck Federation when he was driving Sandman. He is just a fantastic driver. I mean, season one, he was the points leader for the longest of time until he choked at Bridgeport, and of course Grave came in and took the point series away from him. But I mean, if he can stay consistent, he might walk away with the points series one of these days.
Yes, I think, honestly, in my opinion, he came up short in season one. Season two, he had some truck issues, but I think season three is going to be Steven's season. I think he's going to pull ahead with either a championship or a points title. Now, let's go ahead and let's actually hear what you have to say from your previous two stints with Loud Pedal and what you have learned leading up to tonight's event.
What I've learned is that no matter what truck I drive old school, can make it work. I'm an old school fan. I've always have been. I always will. But of course, I'm very open minded with a lot of people with the new age of monster trucks. But this season, I'm driving a new truck that not many of you really see that much, and that's Cowboy. Cowboy is a very unique truck. It's a 2000 Chevy Silverado on a hardstock chassis with with coilover shocks in each corner, no sway bars, good old fashioned old school. I'm hoping I can get around the corners a little bit better because you don't have to worry about sway bars and stuff. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm really ready for season three of Loud Pedal Monster Trucks, and I just have to keep my head up. Despite all the losses, that I've had over the years, I've learned to just keep my head up and just keep moving forward.
Yep, it's going to be a fantastic night and a great start to the season. As coming up after this, we're going to be hearing and taking a look at what the track we have here tonight is all about, which is Louisville, Kentucky, Freedom Hall after this.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
Monster Trucks return to Bristol Motor Speedway on May 10th for one massive event featuring 12 world-class overdrive monster trucks, including Hometown Dinosaur Jurassic Attack, the Building Block Built Blockhead, the Flying Dump Truck Dirt Crew Bad Company, and so many more. See these larger than like 12,000-pound monster trucks compete in massive racing and freestyle competitions as they fly over school buses and even attempt a backflip. Advance tickets start at just $15 at BristolMonsterTrucks.com. Come early to the Overdrive Track Party experience where you can see all 12 of these massive monsters up close and even meet the drivers. Or take a once-in-a-lifetime ride on a real 12,000-pound monster truck and so much more. Don't wait. Tickets on sale now at BristolMonsterTrucks.com and will sell fast. Don't miss the biggest monster truck event in the East. Overdrive Monster Trucks at Bristol Motor Speedway May 10th. Buy your $15 tickets now at BristolMonsterTrucks.com.
You need hard-working tires for a hard-earned victory. For turns 1 to 4 and handling your 9 to 5. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Well, Monster Truck fans, we're getting ready for our event here today here in Louisville, Kentucky at Freedom Hall for the first of 6 points competitions for the spring/summer tour, a much more spaced out season compared to what we have for our main previously 2 seasons of this inaugural series. Now going in, this is a track here for Freedom Hall. As you can see here, it's something short and sweet. The racing competition will be a short, straight line course. Drivers will start right there on that hill. They will then go off the hill and make their way to that line of cars. And right where that line is at the end of the track is where they're going to cross. And that is where we determine who wins and who loses, who moves on, and who goes to the trailer. Patrick, what is your thoughts on this track? And I know you love old school, and this track is right up your alley.
Yes, it is. It is right up my alley, just like back in the old TNT Tough Tracks days from the late 80s, early 90s. This is no different. Drivers have to go up that small little berm. They have to go up nice and easy. What I've learned is if you go over that hill nice and easy, the faster you go. So then you start stepping on the throttle when you're in no man's land, and then just let it soar high and fly. And we've also have seen this type of racing with the Penda Point series as well, but of course on the outdoors.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very entertaining. As we've seen throughout these straight line racing course races, these usually produce some of the best races of loud pedal monster trucks, and especially with obviously our last few times with Champions Night 1 and 2, where we had straight line racing as the main, and of course will be like that once again when we go back to Lebanon Valley Speedway at the season finale. But unlike those, this one is just a shorter course in an arena, putting monster trucks back to how they were back into the 80s, but with the modern technology, anything can happen here at this location. And again, Freedom Hall, a very iconic piece of monster truck history. Tell us a little bit about Freedom Hall with monster trucks.
Freedom Hall has been used for many, many years throughout the 80s and 90s with various different motorsport promotions like USHRA and, of course, the TNT circuit. Well, I really love this arena. It's a little bit bigger than a normal arena. It's not as big as the Reno Livestock Center or as the Tacoma Dome, but it is bigger than your average arena that you see across the United States. And, of course, other parts of the world.
And yeah, you can see the size is a little bit different compared to the other ones, but you could also see some of the old things about the arena is kept, like the Freedom Hall and Louisville, Kentucky logos, obviously a staple in the arena. Some of the old scoreboards. It's one of those arenas where I'm glad they have some old architecture still in here, but also brought in some new things to kind of have that nice balance of both keeping it alive, but also paying tribute.
Yeah.
Now going into this event with just about 17 minutes away, obviously predictions are a pretty big key. If you're going into the event and you're just really excited and you are just ready to bet it all, or if you're making a bet with somebody with either cash or maybe even just a simple thing like maybe a piece of candy, the bets are always fun to do. So let's go ahead and get our bets in. We have qualifying and we have racing. Those two competitions leading will pretty much be the ultimate way to get points in this series. Freestyles are here, but they're only exhibitions. They're just for the fans. So qualifying and racing is where the drivers truly stride in the points competition. So let's first go ahead and let's start with you, Patrick, for qualifying. You see the lineup. We talked about them. Who do you think will pull ahead with qualifying?
Honestly, I think I'm going to have the advantage, and I'm not saying that to be biased, but I've started to get better with these straight line drag races and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think the other person that would do really well is Jester and maybe Garrett.
And yeah, with this competition, really anything can happen. And honestly, from my thoughts, from what I've seen throughout and seeing what trucks they're driving, I think Garrett might pull ahead with qualifying. And even then with qualifying, you're just doing one pass and you got to be good with it. But I think Garrett will have it, because that truck seems to be dialed in all the way through. But again, Patrick as well, you've had your old school experience, and who knows, you might even start off on top here today. But then we go on to the racing competition, and this is where we really get to see the drivers go all out and even get some bonus points. So going in, who do you think will pull ahead with the racing win at Freedom Hall?
Well, that one's going to be really hard, especially with how tough the competition is. I'm going to predict maybe Garrett, because he won racing last time with the Monster Truck Federation a few days ago in Syracuse. So it won't surprise me if he gets the win, but I also think Jester and I are going to be the other three to look out for. But Felipe can also be a threat too.
And yeah, pretty much everybody in the field are contenders. They're all very, very talented. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Jester, who has been doing really, really well in his Rigs and Rods competitions as of late. And him and Black Pearl, I think he'll be just fast enough. And especially with him with a Garner chassis, usually those are built perfectly, and I think he's going to walk away with the racing win here in Louisville, Kentucky. We still got 13 minutes before we start our event here at Freedom Hall as the hype continues to build. Drivers are still filing in, and we cannot wait to get things started here on the ROR Motorsports Network. Be sure to go ahead and take a look at TF Motorsports when you can. We got some new content, especially with Motorsports Hour officially back and better than ever. With their latest episode at Accord Speedway, May 2nd, was recorded, and we had it out just yesterday on all three platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and Vimeo. Meanwhile, second episode is going to be filmed as of right now, if weather holds up, May 16th. May 17th, we were going to be at Connecticut, but unfortunately the show got canceled. So to make up for it, we're going back to Accord for another pure stock coverage on that night. And don't forget, we still got more after that. May 30th, we're back at Accord. And then our monster truck coverage finally kicks off June 7th at Bridgeport Motorsports Park for the 2 Extreme Monster Truck Tour featuring Jimmy Creedon. And of course, be sure to take a look at Patrick's tour, the Monster Truck Federation. You can see it on his Old School fan page, where we have some incredibly talented drivers battling it out on breakable trucks and continuing on in their points championship, and Season 2 also on the horizon for the Monster Truck Federation. So be sure to go ahead and take a look at these latest videos on Old School Fans channel. To get a little bit more in-depth on the Monster Truck Federation, Patrick, since we got some time, let's hear about the tour that you've been building over the last few weeks and has quickly been gaining steam.
Well, Monster Truck Federation is a WNB tour. I've decided to go with WNBs because I was like, you know what? I've been driving non-breakables for many years. Let's start driving WNB, shall we? And the first couple of weeks, things were a little bit slow. I mean, obviously, I was doing them on a Saturday, which, of course, was not really the best idea because I know you and a lot of everybody else watches Monster Jams that day. But ever since you given me the advice to do the weekdays, now all of a sudden it's starting to get better and better. This tour mostly focuses on monster trucks, not only from the 2000s, but also the early, mid, and some late 2010s monster trucks, going on a variety of tracks from the 2000s and 2010s as well. And for Season 2, we're going to be doing more arenas and speedways as well for Monster Truck Federation in Season 2. And of course, Federation Bowl will always be hosted at Las Vegas.
It's going to be very exciting, and So is the link for that tour in your channel description, or where can people join your tour?
I think I'm gonna leave the Discord in my description and also in the pin comment as well for people that want to join that tour if they want to.
Also, if you're in the Loud Pedal Monster Truck server, after the event concludes, we will have a little shout out pin where drivers can join in to Patrick's tour, and we'll be having a fantastic time at the Federation Bowl on Wednesday night. Super excited to get this underway. Happening Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you might just see it, not just on Patrick's channel, but if we could try to get it working on stream, we could also stream it here. So we'll just keep you updated on that. So now with 9 minutes left, we talked about all the drivers, predictions out of the way. Let's talk about exhibition freestyles, because obviously racing is the main part of Loud Pedal, but the exhibition freestyles are a nice little touch where drivers can just go have fun, no points at that part of the show. What sets this different compared to other tours?
Well, what sets this different, you obviously wanted to do something different because, you know, the way how monster trucks are going nowadays, it's mostly focused on freestyle, which is kind of sad, and there's not really that many tours out there anymore that really just do a racing focused event. Now, racing focused events, they lasted throughout most of the 80s and of course the 90s, but starting in the early 2000s, we started seeing freestyle. Now, freestyle in the 90s was a lot different. It was not for points, and sometimes, depending on the rules and such, only the top two trucks, the racing winner and the runner-up, sometimes would be the only ones allowed to freestyle because everyone else didn't have the opportunity to really freestyle back in them days. So I'm kind of glad that this tour has a bit of touch of that memorabilia for this tour, and I'm really starting to like it. And not to mention, it is stress free. There's no time slots. There's no pressure, just absolutely nothing. And it gives also the drivers to practice a little bit more for other tours, including mine as well.
And yep, that's another benefit with the exhibition freestyles, the practice. So obviously there's quite a lot of tours out there that follow the similar monster truck formula where you have racing, freestyle, and maybe another competition added in. And freestyle, obviously, especially with some of the drivers these days being so talented behind the wheel, you actually need some bit of practice. And thankfully with Loud Pedal, with the exhibition freestyles, you can take it easy or you get to go all out depending on how you feel, and you just get to showcase what you want to do. And it's not exactly like for scores or anything, it's only just for entertainment's sake, and it's just a very, very fun part of the show after you get your full competitive racing competitions. As we're slowly creeping into the event here in just about 5 minutes, I want to thank everyone here for filing in and getting ready for their competition. As roughly about, I believe, 6 or 7 drivers are here ready to compete here at Freedom Hall for the first of 6 events for Season 3. As after tonight, we'll be back within a couple weeks, which will be on the 23rd. That's our next event. So just a friendly reminder, that is when our next event will take center stage. All right, Patrick, we're just about 5 minutes away. Any final thoughts before we get into tonight's event?
I'll tell you what, man. Racing is going to be fast, quick, and it's definite. And before you know it, it's all going to be over in a flash. But depending on the circumstances, that could possibly change, but we'll just have to wait. But there's only one way to find out. So I'm really excited for tonight. And, even though we're not doing this week to week, like every single week, that actually kind of gives me some time, with my tour and of course with everyone else, because things can be kind of busy at this time of year, if you know what I mean.
Definitely so. And yeah, for this event, there's going to be a lot of great drivers competing here with qualifying, racing, and of course the exhibition freestyles at the end of the show. We also have tough trucks as we're using different trucks this time. It's a different model, a custom one instead of the those diesel trucks that we used for the last season. So that'll be something different. A lot of great things are scheduled to happen here tonight. Stay put as Loud Pedal Monster Trucks begins in just about 4 minutes. We're excited to give the event to you right here on the ROR Motorsports Network.
Monster Trucks return to Bristol Motor Speedway on May 10th for one massive event featuring 12 world-class overdrive monster trucks, including hometown dinosaur Jurassic Attack, the building block built Blockhead, the flying dump truck Dirt Crew Band Company, and so many more. See these larger than like 12,000-pound monster trucks compete in massive racing and freestyle competitions as they fly over school buses and even attempt a backflip. Advance tickets start at just $15 at BristolMonsterTrucks.com. Come early to the Overdrive Track Party experience where you can see all 12.
At JCB, we know good enough is never good enough. Simply meeting expectations just won't cut it. We built JCB with that in mind because in this life, you have to tackle each challenge as it comes. Be strong. Be bold. Be committed. You have to rise above. You have to be better.
You need hard-working tires for a hard-earned victory. For turns 1 to 4 and handling your 9 to 5. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
It's officially time as we're getting things set here for Loud Pedal Monster Truck Season 3 round number 1 throughout this spaced out spring/summer tour. I'm joined here with Patrick, but also Steven has arrived, and we are super excited to get this event underway. Steven, how's it feel to be back here and this being your first time here live at Freedom Hall?
It feels great. I always love being a part of this team, being part of this tour. It's always been a lot of great fun. And I think it's actually my first time competing here in Freedom Hall as well. So I'm excited to see how not only I compete, but everyone else competes too. It's going to be a great event here tonight.
Definitely so. And now that we're just getting all the last minute touches set for this event, now you have a brand new truck. So unlike the last time where you had Ghost Division for the last 2 seasons, this time you're in a brand new truck, this being Northern Nightmare, and you're on a different chassis. What is your thoughts now with this brand new truck? Do you think you're going to be able to make it stick this year and get a championship?
I hope so. I'm a little bit. I'm obviously have to run a little bit differently, doing a woman's and a front engine. But as soon as I get all the kinks worked out and everything, and just get used to the truck, I should be good to go. And hopefully, I can finally stop getting so close and no cigar. Hopefully, I can actually get that cigar and get the championship.
All right, it's going to be a very, very fun event. We are just about to get things underway with Monster Truck qualifying. As fans, we want to welcome you to Louisville, Kentucky, Freedom Hall, and welcome to the Ultimate Monster Truck Racing Series, Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. And the TF Motorsports Series is ready to do battle. As now we're going to kick things off with the qualifying competition, where 2 drivers will go up at the same time, both being timed. And we're soon about to get our first pairing up here, as we're going to have Felipe and Garrett go toe-to-toe. About to get qualifying underway, so I'll be timing the times on the right-hand lane. Now, either Steven or Patrick can time on the left-hand lane.
All right. I'll time on the left lane.
Alright.
Alright, Patrick has duties for the left-hand lane. I'll have duties for the right-hand lane. As Garrett at the line, we are waiting for Felipe, because what's different this time and what we experimented back at Sim Monsters Nostalgia Night 2025, what we did with that event is do qualifying simultaneously, as done in usual big series monster truck events, where instead of it just being 1 truck at a time, it would be 2 trucks going off at the same time, both to save event time, but also this would also help the case with show flow. And as you can see here, Felipe is set. We're just going to wait for both of our approvals to get the qualifying session underway, as we're getting our timers set up. And because me and Patrick are timing, Steven will be in charge of doing the R and chat and the staging lights. As for our events, we would ask for drivers to put R in chat to signal that they are ready. After that, they would type red and green. That is when the drivers take off. Alright, I'm good on my end for my clock. Patrick seems to be good.
Yep.
And now
Off. It's gonna be. I think the Felipe might have red lit there.
yeah, Yeah, it seems like we'll just have him time right now. So Patrick will be timing Felipe. Meanwhile, I have the time for Garrett in Overkill Evolution. This being 3.315, so
Yep.
just a little over 3 seconds. Great way to start it off. And since Felipe had a false start, Felipe will go alone.
And he's
4.50.
0.50.
All right.
Another solid time, but we'll see how those two times stand up against the rest of the pack as the night goes on.
3.15 for Garrett, 4.50 for Felipe, and that is how we have started tonight's qualifying session. Next up, it's going to be Jester in the Black Pearl truck. He was going to drive Classroom Crusher, but made a last-minute choice and decided to go for the one of the big fan favorites of Monster Trucks, both independent and in Monster Jam, this being Black Pearl, but has a slight twist to it. It actually has a red paint job, and we're about to see that right here as he pulls out.
I don't have this truck.
Luckily, I do, and I'll be timing.
Oh, I could see him for you.
Yep, I'll be timing, and Steven can still do lights.
Alright.
Jester leading in the Monster Truck Federation, looking to try to also start off on a high note here in Loud Pedal. Going off slow into the racing lane. Pretty close, but he's not going to dethrone Garrett. 3.42 was his time, so he's going to be just a little short. And that's usually the pretty cool perk of having these races on the short straight line course. Usually these provide some pretty close finishes, and even in the coolness of qualifying, it really is showing. These next runs we're going to have just single runs because of Patrick and Steven being next, so we'll just have Patrick go next, and then Steven will go next after that. So, Patrick Cowboy is going to be your next competitor in the qualifying competition, looking to try to dethrone Garrett in Cowboy.
Cowboy, for me personally, has always been one of my personal favorites as a kid. I've of course always liked Gunslinger, but Cowboy I've always had a soft spot for. A little bit of a almost forgotten middle child, but still love it. And I know Patrick's gonna do that truck justice here tonight.
Patrick chooses to qualify in the left lane. We'll see how this benefits his only time recorded, as because of the track being the same on both sides, drivers will only do one qualifying pass. And now we're getting ready for his. And yep, once he takes off, that's when the time starts. Beautifully done. Again, he comes up short compared to what Garrett did, 3.449, so that sums up to 3.44, but still just close. That will put him roughly in the, looks to be the third position. 3.44 for the old school fan, and coming up is the other one from the commentary booth, the other man who is looking to try to make the run of the season. And as you can see here, he's no longer driving Ghost Division. Steven Butterlord shifts it in to Northern Nightmare, and this time on a men's chassis.
All right, I'll record the timer. Let me get into position.
And yeah, Patrick will he'll do the timer this time, and I'll do the lights. And then we also had another driver that was supposed to be here. We will give him time to possibly join. If not, then this will be the end for qualifying. So Patrick seems to be ready now. Let's go ahead and
Hold on a minute.
Oh, yep. So
All right, good.
Yep, now he's good, and Steven is ready at the line. Watch the lights. Red is out. Here comes the green. Beautifully done across the line. What do we got?
3.84.
3.84. Again, comes up a little short there, but still decent run.
Yep. He obviously gassed it way too hard off of the hill, and that's what caused him to slow down. Like I said earlier, you gotta slow down, and then you really want to gas it. But overall, that was still pretty good. I'll tell you what, qualifying is going pretty smoothly.
And now we are currently we got word from Omar. Unfortunately, it seems like he did not make the call because his truck was not available. So qualifying will conclude, and the fastest qualifier is Garrett. And man, oh man, just a very close qualifying session for the first event, as we had some great passes, but Garrett is going to be your first points leader going into the second half of the points competition, and then by the end of racing, we will see who will be leading at that point. So now it's time for a little side act to kind of break from the monster trucks and how the drivers prep. It's time for some tough trucks. Drivers are going to get those old body trucks, but they have a motor in it. And if you saw on the advertisement of the event that was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, but unfortunately last minute plans came up, and going onto the track, you're starting to see them. These are different trucks. Chevy Formula trucks, you can see right here, has the older body, but these things have a lot more power quickly. As a result, with arena shows especially, these things are able to put on some pretty good shows. Alright, so now here's what's going to happen here for tough trucks. So you saw how the monster trucks went, but instead of doing it like that, we're going to have them first go for the cars as usual, but then they're going to do it like a St. Louis style track where they're going to turn to their side, go down the straightaway, and back to the hill. Then it's a regular straight line race. So it's pretty much what we saw with monster trucks, but with an extra lap added on top of it. And answering the call for tough trucks, it's going to be Patrick and Jester, so we're going to have a best 2 out of 3 matchup between these two. First one to get to 2 victories gets the bragging rights.
Yeah, and that something that you mentioned about the layout for this track. All these drivers are used to just doing straight line races when it comes to the tough trucks. So this is definitely going to be something new for not just the drivers in general, and just with how tight this arena is. Like, even though they are in a lot smaller trucks, it's still gonna be quite difficult for them to get a little grip on it and just see how much room they actually have.
And yeah, while they're getting the yards in chat, one thing I want to point out, the first turn seems to be the easiest as they have a lot of room, but the second turn is where it's super tight. You're right by the wall. You're pretty much being pinned. All right, lights are coming on, and they're green.
And they're off. I'm waiting for the stream. I forgot to download the trucks.
Nice start as Jester with the lead. Patrick fall behind, and that last corner seems to be all Jester. And it looks like he's cruising. He's getting his first victory, and now he just needs to get one more in order to win the best 2 out of 3 tough trucks. So they're going to switch lanes, and we're going to see if they will be able to maybe trade off. We'll see if Patrick might get a win or so.
Yeah, maybe. I know both these drivers are actually quite good at racing. Jester, of course, he made it. I'm pretty sure he made it all the way to the finals of last season's World Finals, but or at least made it really deep. And he's definitely a threat to look out for in racing, not just with tough trucks, but in monster trucks as well.
But yep, best 2 out of 3. Jester got the 1. Can he get another? And whoever wins this looks like will face Felipe afterwards. But that will be a 1-race shot. Alright, so now drivers will now put R in chat as now the question has been put. And this will confirm it. Looks like Patrick's really ready. He got an E and an R. Okay, here we go. Red and green. Maybe going for all of them. Oh! And it looks like the victory's been handed over to Jester, unless if Jester crashes. He can just take it easy.
That is it.
Here he comes.
That is a tough break for Patrick. You know, even though this is not for points, you know he wanted to win this bad, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. But there's always next time. I'm sure these tough trucks are fan favorite, both fans and drivers. So I'm sure these trucks will come back really soon.
And now,
Oh yeah.
one more time. However, this time Felipe decided to join on in, so we're gonna have a 1-race deal between Jester and Felipe in our tough truck competition. And then, of course, we move back into monster trucks. Both are lined up, waiting for the R in chat from both. Felipe set, Jester re-lines up, all comfortable, now puts the R in chat. Here we go with tough trucks. A nice jump for Jester going into that first jump. Felipe charges hard and just misses the wall.
Felipe is really trying to use every inch of that track.
Oh, he is just all over the place, but Jester is just too fast and too consistent. He gets the bragging rights from the whole entire field.
These new tough trucks look fantastic, by the way. I cannot wait to drive them next time around.
The tough trucks will return at some point. Again, we're still coming up with the schedule for our Mankato Speedway event where we go into figure 8 monster truck racing. So just wait on our official word on what will be there in a new advertisement here on ROR Motorsports Network. And if you want exclusive information, be sure to join the Discord server, which is for Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. Coming up now, we're getting ready for monster truck racing pretty soon. Steven, what is your thoughts on this track after qualifying has been concluded?
Well, if we're being honest here, it's kind of like what Patrick said earlier. You're gonna have to, you can't gun it right off the bat. You're gonna have to take it easy over that roller and then gun it. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see when these drivers actually time it, when they actually, not necessarily off the line, but when they actually start putting their foot to the floor and see when they actually time, when they actually get on the throttle after that little roller there. So that's where I think most of the time's going to be made up. Instead of it being on the start line, just going to be just after the roller. That's going to make all the difference here tonight.
And now for Patrick.
Well, it was a lot of some nice action in this arena, and I expect it going into the racing competition.
It's definitely going to be a very entertaining night of as we're about to kick things off with our main event of the evening, monster truck racing. Our five drivers have set and ready to go. It'll be first Garrett and Bay, and then Jester and Steven would go toe to toe. Overkill Evolution,
All right.
Garrett behind the wheel. And then Devilish Motorsports returns once again with Felipe with Stray City Mutter.
Pretty sure this is the a rematch of the qualifiers. Of course, these two face each other, and they'll face each other again in the same lanes as well. We'll see that consistency can help them in their respective lanes.
As now we are back live, and this time on a much better scale. Patrick in charge of lights. Who's going to face off against Patrick? We're going to find out as Patrick dims the lights.
Slight edge to Overkill Evolution off the line, and it's going to be Overkill Evolution by about a tire length. But that was a great race from both trucks.
Man, Garrett is just so fast with that truck. That truck just suits him really, really well. And Garrett will face off against Patrick in our second race of the semifinals. All right, it is officially now time for the semifinals. It's Jester and Steven going toe-to-toe here in our next race. Camera on both trucks were bouncing.
Okay, one of you has to be in the other lane.
Steven makes the call. It's Black Pearl Jester behind the wheel. Had a nice few first appearances in Classroom Crusher. Now goes to Black Pearl. Steven Butterlord changes to Northern Nightmare, and he's looking for his first championship of a TF Motorsport event. Patrick in charge of the staging lights. Winner goes to the championship round here at Louisville, Kentucky. Northern Nightmare is going to move on to the championship round. And that truck really seems to suit him, especially when it comes to racing. He just shot out of a cannon on that start.
Oh, yeah.
All right, last up for the semifinals. Who's going to face off against Steven? We're going to find out. It's coming up next. It's Patrick and Garrett going toe-to-toe. Overkill Evolution set at the line, waiting now.
Comes Patrick on Cowboy.
Oh, and there he is, right there in the corner. And Steven will take care of lights.
Oh, shit. My computer just turned off. This thing is hot.
Looks like we have some technical difficulties with Cowboy. As you can see here, his truck is completely frozen. We're going to wait on an official word from Patrick.
All right, coming back.
All right, so we have word he is coming back. So,
I just have to wait for this damn thing to load.
But yeah, as you can see here, his truck is in game, but however, his whole entire system completely crashed, so he's just rebooting, and we have word that he will be back momentarily. While waiting at the line, we have Garrett and Overkill Evolution. Steven, after seeing his qualifying pass and him winning fastest qualifier, and then going in and trying to make it to the final round against you, what's your thoughts on Garrett with this new Overkill truck?
I'm not gonna lie, he's looking really scary right now. He definitely has that truck dialed into a T, exactly the way he wants it to drive. and he's also been this insanely good racer. Last season he came in a little late, but he's been dominant, really dominant in racing between him and Adam. It was just incredible just to watch these two go neck and neck, like week in, week out. It was incredible to see. So I'm quite nervous. I'm hoping Patrick can pull through here, because I'd much rather, no disrespect to Patrick, but I'd much rather face him than Garrett right now, because Garrett seems to be on fire.
And yep, we're about to see is pretty soon Patrick will get Cowboy back onto the track, and we will have that matchup set. And yep, he is now back, and it looks like everything is now at 110%. It looks like the bugs has been worked on, and now it looks like everything is a-okay. Props to the crew of Cowboy for getting Patrick back on the floor. Steven now will help out with the lights for this final round match, or excuse me, semi-final matchup. Waiting for the station lights. Winner faces Steven in Northern Nightmare.
Oh my, it's gonna be Garrett. Excuse me, Garrett got caught sleeping. It's gonna be Patrick. I think it might have been a lag on his end, but
yeah, pretty interesting there. As currently just taking a look back at the footage just in case, and it looks like yes, it was Patrick. Got it fair and square. It is a Cowboy Northern Nightmare face-off in the final round.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
may the best commentator win.
Yep. Let's freaking go.
We have reached the end of the racing competition. These two have shown themselves, and now we're about to see who will be the winner at Freedom Hall. In the right-hand lane, we have Steven Butterlord, Northern Nightmare, looking for win number 1 of the season, and a multitude of wins throughout. And in the other lane, it's Patrick, the old school fan and Cowboy, who is looking for his first racing win of Loud Pedal. Drivers are now going to do the honors to put R in chat, and we are about to get things underway for our championship round race. Patrick has put the R in chat. Steven, he is good. Watch the lights. We're going rowdy in Freedom Hall. To the finish line. It's going to be Northern Nightmare. Steven Butterlord, Northern Nightmare, back on top. And now he is celebrating. We will soon get a word from him after his celebration concludes, and then we'll get to exhibition freestyles. A close race, but he just edged them out, and it was able to be seen through the naked eye. Steven Butterlord, Northern Nightmare, wins our main event in racing competition here in Louisville, Kentucky.
There we go. Alrighty, Steven. You just barely got me in racing. How does it feel getting the win?
It feels great. I love this truck. It's always been a personal favorite of mine. Of course, being Canadian myself. So the fact I'm getting to drive it and bring it to the victory circle right now, it feels great. I'm great race, by the way. You definitely, I thought you had me for a good little bit. It was real close. So it was just a great race all around. I'm still getting a little used to it. I still gotta work out a couple more kinks, but once I get that down, I think it'll be a real threat here this season.
Alrighty. So any more that you gotta say before we go into freestyle?
I'm gonna try and not to cause too much property damage, because this thing's gonna go all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Alrighty, give it up, Louisville, for Stephen Butterlord and the Northern Nightmare.
And fans, if you take a look on the Loud Pedal Monster Truck event info page, you can see both shots of the finish line. You could see how close that finish was to the championship. Steven just edging out Cowboy by just a little bit. What a fantastic race. And in just a few moments, we're about to get into exhibition freestyles as the points competitions has officially been concluded for the evening. Points will be edited throughout, most likely either by the weekend or during the week before we get to the following week's event at Mankato Speedway. Alright, Monster Truck fans, we're getting ready now for exhibition freestyles, as this is where drivers get to let loose and get to just have a little fun here at this part of our show. And again, this is where drivers have the option to do so. They don't have to do exhibition freestyles. It's only if they want to. And it looks like quite a few of our drivers do want to. And we're going to get started with Garrett Hansen, the qualifying winner and third place driver in the racing competition. I believe he might be leading in points right now, that being in Overkill Evolution. As you can see here, the track now has a van stack, has a car stack, has another set of cars over there. So the track went through a slight different makeover, and of course the racing tree has been taken out just in case. And Overkill Evolution is set and ready whenever he is ready. Garrett had a very strong start to Season 3.
Yeah, of course, he's got the bonus points for being the fastest qualifier, so... And if I've learned anything from last season, those bonus points can really add up, so... If you just stay consistent in qualifying, you also got a real good chance of getting the points championship. Of course, you're going to need a couple racing wins, but that can definitely help carry you far.
Yeah, Garrett is definitely off to a very strong start. I had a 99% chance, was 99% sure that he was going to take me out in racing, but I'm surprised that I was able to take him out.
Yeah, nice air off that center jump.
Oh, yeah.
Fans,
He's definitely putting on a show right now.
Fans,
he's going for one.
He's doing it for you. A little bit of a nose wheelie. This is just for you. This is for no scores. Just to show off here in Louisville.
That was a nice little moonwalk he got out of that as well. It's a little... Nicely done.
This honestly feels like a Mike Vauders the second freestyle. A little Mikey Vauders. Honestly,
really does.
I see the similarities. He's like turning the wheels, going right into the turn with no hesitation, just like Mike Vauders the second.
Yeah.
He has no fear, and I guess it runs the family because I know his father Mike Vauders also had a couple of those moments where he just kind of threw caution to the wind and didn't really care too much about what happened, so it must run the family.
A little
exactly.
Speaking of running into the family, a little nod to Mike Vauders and Black Stallion doing a little reverse move there, as Mike Vauders did all those years ago.
Yeah, nice
air. Yes. And not oh boy.
Can he ride it out? Rides it out beautifully.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. He just stuck it and kept it going. Cyclone time.
When we talk about truck control... Sorry.
Overkill Evolution, obviously being the 2015 World File 16 Freestyle Champion as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be it for Garrett. But when we talk about truck control, that right there, that little save to the moonwalk, that is exactly what we're talking about. That was incredible.
Full on truck control. Yeah, you saw he just got into that corner. He knew what to do at the heat of it and managed to knock it out of the ballpark.
You know, he absolutely nailed that move perfectly. It was incredible to watch, and it just shows to everybody how good of a driver Garrett actually is.
Yep.
Coming up next, it's going to be Felipe, ready to rock the house. And as we know from Felipe, he usually just goes all out when it comes to freestyle. Even if it's just exhibition freestyles, he knows what to do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something, but he's of course in a smaller arena. I don't think that's gonna stop him though. That hasn't stopped him before.
Well, I don't think it ever has. But yeah, he's getting ready. He's getting all set, and then very soon he'll be going all out here in Freedom Hall. And here he comes. Beautiful looking truck.
And I hope that's the truck he's gonna compete with next show, because I'm personally I have a real big soft spot for Suzuki and Suzuki trucks, so that thing looks beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. As you can see, it's got the sponsors. Great paint scheme. I'm surprised Riggs and Rods doesn't have a lot of ATVs and bikes on this game. That's honestly something that's kind of shocking, honestly. Oh
Boy.
Beautiful control.
Nicely done. Settles the truck down. Fantastic driving from Felipe.
You can see he has that ragged edge where he just goes for it. He goes for broke. And even in cases like this where he doesn't have destruction obstacles, he also tends to go crazy either way, and I love this.
Yeah, no, and that just again proves that the drivers can always make something work, regardless of if they put themselves or if it's already out on the track. Oh my gosh!
Oh, he almost pulled it off. That was so close.
Oh my gosh! If he pulled that off, I'm already calling that save of the year. That would have been incredible from Felipe.
How? Oh my God! How did he do that? That
was absolutely incredible. But this is why we love Felipe, and we love when he competes with us. You never know what you're gonna get with him.
Yeah, and this time he didn't even need a camper to do it. He just went and just destroyed it.
What a great run from Felipe.
And now he's going to flip that truck back over, drive on back, and then we're about to get our next exhibition freestyle out here in Loud Pedal Monster Trucks. Again, points competition has been concluded. Qualifying was won by Garrett Hansen in Overkill Evolution. Racing won by Stephen Butterlord in Northern Nightmare. Right now, we're just wrapping it up with exhibition freestyles. No scores, no points, no timer. Just all for you fans here at Louisville, Kentucky. So next up, we're going to have Jester come out for his exhibition freestyle.
Jester as well, a fantastic freestyler in his own right as well. So again, I'm excited to see we are really getting treated this show with some great freestyles and some great moments. So I'm excited to see what you can do here.
Looks like he had a slight issue with spawning the truck. It looks like he might be getting that truck back. As far as I can see. Yeah, pretty soon he'll get that truck back in. But either way, and you've seen Jester do his freestyles. What's your thoughts on his freestyles that he's done?
Again, very similar to Felipe. He just kind of goes out and sends it. I remember what was that speed we went to last season? Well, I'm pretty sure he did I wish he did like a crazy, like almost like front flip cartwheel with it. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. It's been a little while, but yeah, Stafford. Thank you. His Stafford freestyle was one of the best of last season. if not the best. So I'm just excited to see what he can do here tonight.
Yep, and of course, Jester is a very aggressive freestyler. He's won several freestyle events on Monster Truck Federation as well. He's won several of them, even got the back double down in Orlando.
I think we're
Yeah,
seeing,
no, he's
sorry, I just want to say I think we're seeing a future champion right here in Jester Drunken Black Pearl.
absolutely, whether that be in this tour in racing or another tour in freestyle, like he's definitely going to be a threat to be wary of. He's been incredible.
Oh yeah, and he's obviously going to be a future champion if he keeps it up in Monster Truck Federation with the points championship on the line.
Well, he's not too far off then.
Nope. Of course, I still have to update the points, and I have to edit the video as well, and that's going to be probably till tomorrow, but...
Just beautiful truck control on that part. You saw him get up on the two wheels, drove it nice and slow. He knew he was right by the wall. He took his time, and he's back on all 4 BKT tires. Just really great driving here from Jester.
Yeah, no, just absolute, again, pure truck. And again, it just shows like that's a future champion in the making. He's just absolutely incredible with the way he controls his truck.
Back for a bicycle on the racing lane, and he's going to get up on one tire and pull it back over.
Nicely done.
And he's just keeping it going. Again, it's crazy. We just say, all right, exhibition freestyles, you don't have to go hard, but throughout these last few runs, these drivers have been going hard in these exhibition freestyles, and it's unbelievable. We had Garrett have a good run. Felipe had a crazy crash, and now we have Jester just having great momentum and great thrilling moves and big air like that.
Wow. That just proves how skilled these drivers are. Regardless of if it's for points or not, they still want to give these fans like a great show, and they say it's not for points, but I'm pretty sure in these drivers' heads they have their own little scoreboards in their own heads and say, okay, I've got to beat that now. Oh my.
Yeah, it's pretty much just bragging rights, I guess.
Oh my gosh!
He's gonna save it!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
How about
What
another
a
one on top?
save.
Oh boy, what? Whoa!
another.
He's all over the place!
Chester is tearing it up here in Louisville. It's crazy.
How is he doing this?
This is an arena. This is not even a stadium floor. This is a tiny arena. How is he doing this?
Man.
What do you drink? What do you eat?
Is it Red Bull and frozen methanol? I don't know.
Frozen pizza. Yeah, he's definitely putting the DiGiorno to him.
This might be a little too early to say, but Freestyle of the Year contender. Possibly. Yeah. Freestyle of the Season contender.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. And oh, by the way, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Look at that reverse over the fan stack. I had to get my little pizza jab in there. I had to do it no matter how I slice it. Oh.
Oh my.
Oh my god, he's going crazy, and I'm trying to throw some random jokes in there.
Yep.
Yo, Jester, calm it down. I think I'm next after this. How am I supposed to compete with this?
He just won't stop. I don't know how he managed to pull all of this off, and he's still on all fours.
This is absolutely incredible. This freestyle. I am in shock with how good this freestyle has been.
Okay, I think I think the last thing he needs to do is drill it into the ground. That's really the last thing he's gotta do.
There we go.
There you go.
Yep, now he...
What?
Nope.
No, he's not done.
Yeah,
He just He just won't quit.
At this point, he's gonna run out of gas. He's just going to the truck physically will not go anymore.
I think it's been like
Or until it's the...
3 or 4 minutes. Here we go. Here we go. It's going over. Timber.
Oh, what?
Nope, never mind.
Oh my god!
It's like, hey, you know how trees just fall over? Well, just imagine if they were tipping, and just before they hit the ground, they just bounce back up and reseal the wound. Like, you just don't see that.
Incredible. Physics just aren't a thing to this man in this truck anymore. It's just not a thing.
This kind of reminds me.
We've seen it all.
I think this reminds me again, like as you said earlier, with that Stafford run he did. It was just hit after hit. He kept going and just kept getting crazy save after crazy save. And this is what it's kind of reminding me of. But however, unlike that one where it was a big open field with a bunch of ramps all over the place, this is a smaller floor, and he's managing to do all of this in a small floor.
Yeah. This is just talent. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of less speechless here. And it's almost I've gone numb to this. I just came to expect this from him at this point. It is just incredible.
Oh, well, now I'm trying to wonder, what would he do?
Oh, boy.
Now he's done. He's done now.
Can't save it this time.
Oh, good. I was getting anxious there.
And his engine still works after 5 minutes.
For some odd reason.
That's a lot of punishment to that truck. But anyway.
He's gonna have a lot of work to do.
Let's get our next run in. Holy smokes. I believe our next truck is going to be Northern Nightmare, our racing winner. Steven.
Oh boy, that was just insane.
Yeah, and again, with these runs, they don't really have to one-up each other or go crazy, but knowing Steven, I know he wants to go big.
Of course. Here he goes onto the track driving Northern Nightmare on a Mensch chassis. Quite unusual if you ask me.
But it seemed to have worked well as qualifying, although he came up short in qualifying. I think he might have gotten, I think second to last maybe, I might be wrong. When it came to racing, it fully delivered. He got the racing victory. So, going through his mind, you think he is a lot more comfortable now than he was last season?
I think he's just as comfortable this season as he was the last 2 seasons. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like there's much of a transition between Ghost Division and Northern Nightmare. He feels right at home with a Mensch chassis. He feels right at home right now.
Beautiful cross-thread, and yeah, for season 1, he was just on a dominating streak, just lost its break. But then with season 2, he only got one. I believe he only got one win that season. He had some mechanical issues that kept biting him. Like, he had great runs, but the mechanical things from his truck was
boy.
And he's gonna tip it over as he just tapped the wall and just played it safe and let the truck roll. But again, this is just for the fans, so nothing really to be ashamed of. But still, he managed to put on a fantastic racing win, gaining him points. But the question is, how will he fare for the next 5 points events leading to Champions Night 3?
Yeah, that's a very curious case, and finally, my turn.
Yep, Patrick is now getting from booth onto the track, And Steven comes back into the commentary booth as we're about to get our last exhibition freestyle in before we wrap it up here at Freedom Hall. And a reminder, next stream is going to be May 23rd. Not next Friday, but the Friday after. We'll be back with Mankato Speedway, where we go from straight line racing to figure eight. So it's going to be the old 80s Speedway style.
Oh boy.
And yep, Patrick's on the floor in the old cowboy truck.
He had a nice little bicycle there. I got a little nervous. I thought he might have rolled it over, but he hung it down nicely.
And yep, he's just taking his time, getting ready to send it.
Nicely done, nicely.
And also, you can see here, he goes for the cars, lines up slow, hammers it. I do like that. It's like a nice, old-school, realistic, older independent with
oh boy,
a little tadness of crazy here and there, but he's just kind of playing it safe. He's just kind of showing off, lining up for the cars and trying to get the best sky wheelie.
Riding that out, nicely done. Got a little bit cattywampus there, but manages to settle it.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to whip that truck on the the rear tires from that little car stack there, going into some donuts.
Nice donuts. Oh wow, he's moving in cyclones. Oh boy, sets it down.
Beautiful cyclones, and goes to that middle van stack. Nice sky wheelie, little awkward landing, but manages to pull it back down.
Yeah, he manages to settle the truck down, and he's just like it goes. He's just doing what his name says. He's going for a nice old school run, something that we haven't seen yet tonight, and it's just nice to see drivers switch it up a bit, like different styles and everything. Going for oh boy, a little bit of Mike Waters, Dan Evans reverse move over the crush cars there. Nicely done.
Notably on the cars. At least tried to.
Yeah, he's doing a really solid run right now in Cowboy.
Going again. This time it sticks. He has